Welcome back, students. Previous class we completed what is living organism, what is life, what are the difference between the living and non-living organism, need of classification, the basic need of classification, and taxonomy and systematics. These are the topic we covered in previous classes. And in this class, I am going to explain about the history of classification. This is another important topic. First, the basic classification. The ancient classification was two criteria classification. The entire organism of the world or entire animals of the world was classified into two categories, that is beneficial and harmful animal. So see here some beneficial animal pictures also given here and some harmful animals picture also given here. So this was a first ancient classification. Entire organism, எல்லா ஆர்கானிசத்தை எத்தனையா பிரிக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னா ரெண்டா பிரிக்கிறாங்க. One is beneficial, another one is harmful organisms. And another ancient classification was 5 animal groups. So what are the 5 animal groups? Domestic animals. See some domestic animal. That means the animals that are easily linked with the human society. We can easily, the animal that are easily adapted in the home. That is called a domestic animal. And wild animal. See some wild animal pictures also given here. Wild animal, creeping animal. ஊர்ந்து போகக்கூடிய animal அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். Creeping animal. And flying animal and sea animal are a swimming animal. This was the second ancient classification. It may be a 2-mark question. First ancient classification. The classification was beneficial and harmful animal. And second ancient classification was classify the animal into 5 categories. They are a domestic, wild animal, creeping animal, flying animal and sea animal. And next Aristotle, he was the first to classify the animal in his history of animal. He has published one book. The name of the book is Historia Animalium. He has published that book in Latin language. And for the first time, Aristotle was classified the organism on his book. அவரோட புக்கில் என்ன பண்ணுறாருன்னா அனிமலை கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணியிருக்கிறார். So what are the 2 categories of living organisms classified by the Aristotle? There are 2 groups. One is plants, another one is animals. Plants, those organisms can able to prepare their own food. An animal cannot prepare their own food. Animal வந்து என்ன பண்ண முடியாதுன்னா ஃபுட்டை ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ண முடியாது. They are heterotrophs. So these 2 was the basic classification of the living organism. This classification was given by Aristotle. And another classification of Aristotle is animals were classified based on their locomotory structure. See here, what are the locomotory structure that are seen in this animal? நிறைய animal என்னென்ன locomotory structure சொல்லுங்க? Flying animal, very good. Flying animal, swimming animal, all the aquatic animals can swim, and aerial animals can fly. And here what? Terrestrial animal can walk. These are the 3 type of classification was given by Aristotle based on their locomotory structure. என்ன டைப் ஆஃப் locomotory structure இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறத பற்றி அவங்க கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணியிருக்கிறாங்க. And another classification was given by Aristotle, that is Anaima and Anaima. What is meant by Anaima? Anaima, animal with blood. Anaima means animal with blood. That means presence of RBC or presence of blood pigment. And what is meant by Anaima? Anaima, A means absent. Here absence of blood or absence of blood pigment. So these are the 2 categories was given by Aristotle. So in this slide we have to understand, first one is 2 criteria classification or ancient 2 criteria classification of animals. Animals were classified into 2 groups, namely beneficial and harmful organism. And another ancient classification based on their living habit, where the animal live. Domestic animal, wild animal, and creeping animal, flying animal, and sea animal. This is the classification, ancient classification. And Aristotle, he published one book, important one more question, Historia Animalium. In his book, he classified the animals. And another category of living organism is plant and animal. And another category of classification of animals based on their locomotory structure, they are walking animal, flying animal and swimming animal. Then another category also was given by Aristotle, that is Anaima and Anaima. Okay. The next we move on to limitations of Aristotle. So what are the limitations? Limitations means demerits. Enna demerits Aristotle classification. Okay. Many organisms were not fitted in his classification. This is the first demerits. எல்லா ஆர்கானிசமே இதில் வரல. நிறைய ஆர்கானிசத்தை என்ன பண்ணிட்டாருன்னா அரிஸ்டாட்டில் வந்து கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணலை. ஸோ மெனி ஆர்கானிசம்ஸ் வேர் நாட் ஃபிட்டட் இன் இஸ் கிளாசிஃபிகேஷன். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், tadpole of a frog, see here, tadpoles of frog are born in water and have gills. But when they metamorphose into adult frog, they have lungs and can live both in water and land. பட் அரிஸ்டாட்டில் என்ன பண்ணுறாரு அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, அந்த ஃப்ராகை வந்து எந்த ஒரு கேட்டகரியுமே கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணல. திஸ் இஸ் ஆம்பிபியன்ஸ். தட் அனிமல் can able to live in the water as well as terrestrial environment. This is the first limitation. And second limitation is Aristotle classified the organism based on their locomotion. Hence birds, here birds, bats and flying insects were grouped into the same category. But what are the difference of these organisms? Insects are invertebrates. அவங்க invertebrateல வருவாங்க. And birds and bats are comes under the vertebrate category. Even though this animal, birds comes under the class aves and bats comes under the class mammal. இவங்க வந்து எதில் வருவாங்க? aves. இவங்க முட்டை போடுவாங்க, இவங்க குட்டி போடுவாங்க, இவங்க இன்வெர்டபிரேட். மூணையும் என்ன பண்ணிட்டாரு அப்படின்னா ஒரே குரூப், ஒரே கேட்டகரியில் கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணுவார் பேஸ்ட் ஆன் தயர் locomotive structure. Because of all the animals cannot able to fly. So just by the observation, one single characteristic features of the flying ability. So this is the second limitation. First என்ன பண்ணாரு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃப்ராகை கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணலாம். நிறைய ஆர்கனிசத்தில் ஃப்ராகை மெயினாக கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணலாம். செகண்ட் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பறக்கிற அனிமல் எல்லாத்தையும் என்ன பண்ணிட்டாரு ஒரு கேட்டகரியில் வச்சுட்டாரு. And for another example, ostrich, emu and penguin are all birds but cannot fly. Penguins பறக்கும், birds தான் ஆனால் பறக்காது. Ostrich also bird but cannot fly, and emu also type of bird but cannot fly because of they can lay the egg. So Aristotle would not have classified them as a birds. இந்த எம்முவையோ ஆஸ்ட்ரிச் என்ன பண்ணல, அவர் பேர்ட்ஸில் கன்சிடர் பண்ணல. These are the limitations of Aristotle. It may be a 3-mark question. First you have to write as a frog, and second point you have to write as a birds and flightless birds. So these are the points you have to memorize for 3-mark question. And next category, classification of plants. Father of botany, Theophrastus is a student of Aristotle. Theophrastus classification of plants, because of for the first time most of the research on the classification of plants, and he was known the father of botany. நிறைய ஒர்க்கு யாரோட ஒர்க் அப்படின்னா தியோப்ராஸ்டஸோட ஒர்க்கு நிறைய எதில் இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கிளாசிஃபிகேஷன் ஆஃப் பாட்டனி. தட் இஸ் த ரீசன் he called father of botany. And next scientist is John Gray. His most important contribution was the establishment of species. It may be a 1-mark question. Establishment of species. Species அப்படிங்கிற விஷயத்தை முத கொண்டு வந்தவர் யார் அப்படின்னா John Gray. So these species are the ultimate unit of taxonomy. That word also given by John Gray. And in 1682 he published a book, Methodus Plantarum Nova. Underline the word as a 1-mark question. Methodus Plantarum Nova. It was a book was published by John Gray, which contained about 18 plants of species. இப்போ ரெண்டு சயின்டிஸ்டுமே எதை கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா பிளான்ஸை தான் கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணுறாங்க. நிறைய ஒர்க்கு பிளான்ட் கிளாஸிஃபிகேஷனில் பண்ணவர் யார் அப்படின்னா தியோஃப்ராஸ்டஸ். அதனால் என்ன சொல்லுவோம் அப்படின்னா இஸ் த ஃபாதர் ஆஃப் பாட்டனி. And what is another aim of John Gray? He aimed at publish a complete system of nature which includes works on mammals, reptiles, birds, fishes and insects. So method of Plantarum Nova அப்படிங்கிற புக்கில் என்ன கிடையாது அப்படின்னா அனிமல்ஸோட கிளாசிஃபிகேஷன் கம்மியாக தான் இருந்தது. அதனால் he aimed to publish the complete system of nature which includes what are the animals, mammals, reptiles, birds, fishes and insects. aim பண்ணாரு பட் என்ன பண்ணலாம் பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணலாம். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சயின்டிஸ்ட் அரிஸ்டாட்டில், செகண்ட் சயின்டிஸ்ட் தியோஃப்ராஸ்டஸ், ஃபாதர் ஆஃப் பாட்டனி அண்ட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஆஃப் அரிஸ்டாட்டில், அண்ட் தேர்ட் சயின்டிஸ்ட் ஜான் ரே. ஜான் ரேன்னு சொன்னோன்னே என்ன ஞாபகம் வரும் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் ஸ்பீசிஸ் அண்ட் மெத்தடஸ் பிளான்டாரம் நோவா. அரிஸ்டாட்டிலோட புக் என்ன ஏஹெச்எம் அப்படின்னு வச்சுக்கோ. ஏஹெச்எம் அனிமல்ஸ், அரிஸ்டாட்டில் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி ஆஃப் அனிமல்ஸ் ஆர் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி ஆஃப் அனிமாலியம். This was a book published by Aristotle. And next historical event in taxonomy is next scientist Carolus Linnaeus. So Carolus Linnaeus is a father of modern taxonomy and the founder of modern systematics and developed a scientific system of taxonomy, and binomial nomenclature also was given by Carolus Linnaeus. So Carolus Linnaeus is the father of modern taxonomy because of one of his contribution was the development of hierarchical system of classification in nature. That is the reason he called as a father of modern taxonomy. Hierarchical classification, that means phylum, class, order, like that. That classification was given by Carolus Linnaeus. That is the reason he called father of modern taxonomy. And next title is phylogenetic classification or gladistics. Phylogenetic classification. What is meant by phylogenetic classification or cladistics? The study on the evolutionary and genetic relationship among the organism. Evolutionary relationship. What is the relationship between the human and the monkey? What is the genetic relationship between the human and the monkey? What is the evolutionary relationship between the frog and the human being? What is the relationship between the birds and the human being? Birds and the human being also have notochord. So like that in phylogenetic study gives the explanation about the evolutionary relationship of the organism and the genetic relationship among the organism. It is an evolutionary classification based on how common ancestor was shared. நம்ம ஆன்செஸ்டர் எப்படி இருந்தாங்க, நம்ம ஆன்செஸ்டர் இருந்து எந்தெந்த பண்புகளை வாங்கியிருக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறது தான் பைலோஜெனட்டிக் கிளாசிஃபிகேஷன். The phylogenetic tree or cladogram was given by another scientist Ernest Haeckel. Another one mark question, Ernest Haeckel. And this is a diagram, a method of representing the evolutionary relationship with the help of a tree diagram. It is known as a cladogram. Cladogram, it may be a 2 mark question. முத யார் இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் பண்ணாங்கன்னா எர்னஸ்ட் ஹேக்கல். The group of organism also given. So you can classify the organism based on their evolutionary relationship with the tree diagram. This is called a phylogenetic tree or a cladogram. Another important 2 mark question. In this part, why is Carolus Linnaeus called father of modern taxonomy? This is the first 2 mark. What is meant by phylogenetic classification and what is meant by phylogenetic tree? These are the 3 topics you have to understand. And this see here, this is a picture of Ernest Haeckel and this is a phylogenetic tree. All the vertebrates comes under the same category. All the animal have a notochord and some animal have a bony skeleton. So this, what are the animals have bony endoskeleton those animals grouped into the separate category. And some animal have 4 limbs. This animal have no limbs. Fish க்கு என்ன கிடையாதுன்னா limbs கிடையாது. But other organisms, the coming organisms are having a 4 legs. Have 4 legs. So all the organisms grouped into same category, that is tetrapoda. And another classification is amniotic egg. Amniotic means the egg which is surrounded by the membrane. The membrane is called amnion membrane. And another group of organism also egg with the shell. This animal also, frog also lay the egg but without any shell. But crocodiles and birds can lay the egg with the shell. This is another classification. And finally, the organisms vertebrate classified as grouped into the separate category based on their presence of body hairs. இவங்களுக்குலாம் மேலே என்ன இருக்க மாட்டாங்கன்னா there is no body hairs, but this animal have a body hairs. So this type of classification is called a cladogram. Evolutionary relationship. What is evolutionary relationship? All the organisms have a notochord. So all the organisms are comes under the same category called a vertebrate. So this is called a cladogram or example for cladogram. And next we move on to classification. Two kingdom classification, 3 kingdom classification, 4 kingdom classification. And here are the 2 kingdom classification. This 2 kingdom classification was given by Carolus Linnaeus, and all the organisms were classified into 2 category. All the living organisms were classified into 2 category. One is plant kingdom, another one is animal kingdom. See the animal and the plant kingdom. In kingdom Plantae are able to make their own food because of they contains a chlorophyll pigment and have a cell wall. Cell இருக்கும் அதுல cell wall இருப்பாங்க. They are sedentary animals. See sedentary, there is no movement. Sedentary னா ஒரு இடத்துல நிலையா இருக்கக்கூடிய animal. And kingdom Animalia cannot make their food. They are heterotrophs. See here, heterotrophic organism have no cell wall. There is no cell wall, but plasma membrane or cell membrane also present. Plasma membrane. And these organisms are motile organisms. See the butterfly can move. So one of the main character of an animal is locomotion. Move from one place to another for their food or for reproduction. So this is a 2 kingdom classification. This 2 kingdom classification are given by Carolus Linnaeus. It may be a 1 mark question, and 2 kingdom classification also may be a 2 mark question. Okay. Another one is 3 kingdom classification. This 3 kingdom classification was given by Ernest Haeckel. It is not given in your textbook. Kindly write it. 3 kingdom classification. So earliest classification, the Carolus Linnaeus classification, all the living organisms were grouped into 2 categories, that is plants and animals. Here the microorganism like eukaryotic or protista, protozoans, plants, animals and protozoans. These are the 3 categories of organisms comes under the 3 kingdom classification. So plants, animals and protozoa. So this is a flagellate protozoans, and this is a microscopic structure of paramecium. And next we move on to 5 kingdom classification. There is a important 5 mark question. This 5 kingdom classification was given by R.H. Whittaker. And in this group, all the living organisms were classified into 5 categories. They are Archaea, Eubacteria, Protista. Protista are protozoa, fungi, plantae and animalia. So plantae, animalia அப்படிங்கிறது பேசிக்கா 2 kingdom classificationல வந்தாங்க. பட் அதோட சேர்த்து என்னன்னா other 3 organism, fungi, protista, bacteria and archaea also included in 5 kingdom classification. The 5 kingdom classificationல ஒரு ஆர்கானிசத்தை காணோம். One organism is missing in 5 kingdom classification. Anyone can say what is the organism missing in this part? Very good. Viruses are not included in 5 kingdom classification. This is one of the demerits of 5 kingdom classification. 5 kingdom classification is one of the demerits. And next one is 6 kingdom classification. This 6 kingdom classification was given by Carl Woese. And these are the some animals that include in the 6 kingdom classification: animal, plants, fungi, Protista, Eubacteria, Archaebacteria. So these are the 6 kinds of organisms that are included in the 6 kingdom classification. And these are the some points. If you want, write it. This topics, this picture and this concept not given your textbook. If you want, kindly pause the video and write it in your classroom. Okay, but you have to understand the organism. What are the organisms that include in the 6 kingdom classification? That's all. Today class is over. Next class we will discuss the another important topic, that is 3 domains in life. Okay, thank you students. We will meet next class. Thank you.